First of all, thanks everyone for coming to our Buy or Buy series today. So today is actually something that is really special because we are not going to talk about one company. We are going to talk about two companies, and these two companies is very closely related. Okay, it's none other than Propnex versus APAC. Both companies, I'm pretty sure as Singaporean, you should be familiar with all this brand. Okay, you should be pretty familiar with all this brand. I'm sure that you definitely have friends who actually works there as a property agent as well. Okay, so this is actually a very, very interesting company and very close to our heart as well. So without further ado, okay, I'm going to dive into my Buy or Buy series on Propnex versus APAC. So before I continue, okay, again, that's just a disclaimer that today this is not a recommendation to buy or sell. It's for education purpose only. So please do your own due diligence. Whatever I share with you today, please go and check. Please go and do your own research as well. Okay, and once you actually affirm the information that is correct, feel free to actually go in. So once again, if you make money, I'm happy for you. And if let's say you lose money, okay, please read the last sentence. You will not, I will not be liable in respect of any damage, expenses, or other losses. All right, so this is basically to protect me and of course to allow me to actually share openly. So if you allow me to share openly, okay, can you just type in open? Can you just put in the chat group open? Same goes for the Facebook. Okay, if you are okay for me to actually share openly, whatever comment I wanted to share. In fact, today there'll be a lot of personal comment. So please comment open so that I can actually share whatever I wanted to share. Okay, just type in the word open, O-P-E-N. Okay, that's good. Wait, let me just wait a while. Just wait for the people on the Facebook to actually start. Okay, at least one of them commented, so that means they are able to hear me. That's good. Okay, so once again, the format that I'll be going through is actually based on this particular format called Big Profit. So B stands for background. I'm going to talk about the background of both company, and I is the industry. I'm going to talk about industry. I'm going to talk about real estate as a whole. Okay, property industry as a whole, and of course the growth of the industry as well as the growth of the company. Then we're going to do some comparison, and of course going to talk about the risk as well as the opportunity that this company actually have. The last one is we're going to look at the financial, look at the numbers of both of these companies. So today there'll be a lot of comparison because we'll be doing two companies together. And so let's start with the background, okay? So very quickly, I'm going to start with Propnex first, okay? So Propnex is basically the largest listed real estate group in Singapore, okay? So for those who are from Propnex, okay, you should be very, very proud, okay, to be in the largest listed real estate group in Singapore. As of 23rd, 2020, they have 8,441 sales professional, okay, property agent in short. So in short, this company, what does it do? They focus on three areas. Number one is the real estate brokerage. Secondly, they focus on training of this sales professional. And of course, they also do some property management and real estate consultancy services. So yeah, very simple, pretty common. I'm sure we are familiar what they do. Okay, so of course, we come to APAC reality. Okay, so don't worry, for those who are from APAC, okay, it's your turn, okay? So APAC is the largest brand footprints in Asia with more than 17,300 salesperson across 651 offices in 10 different countries, okay? So for that, okay, I think this is something that APAC has done really, really well. They are the largest, okay, in Asia with 17,000 salesperson, okay? Nobody can win them. So good job, APAC. And they actually host the master franchise right for Singapore for Coldwell Banker. Okay, and of course, the business segment for APAC is real estate brokerage, franchise agreement, training, and valuation services. So pretty much both company, what they do and segment is pretty much similar. So we're gonna just go dive into. Let's start with APAC first. Okay, so you can see from the slide, as long as the color is red color, usually it's talking about APAC. If it's blue color, usually it's talking about Propnex. So quite straightforward. So in short, ERA focus into three different segments for the business: real estate brokerage services, franchise agreement, as well as the training, valuation, and other ancillary services. Okay, but in short, we are going to focus a lot on the real estate brokerage services because that part alone, okay, the first one, takes up about 80% of the revenue. So 80% of the business actually comes from the real estate brokerage services. So you can see that ERA, which is APAC Realty, they're actually everywhere. Okay, they actually owns the master franchise right to the Asia Pacific region. So very interesting. Yeah, they are really quite huge. Especially you can see that in Indonesia, okay, and Vietnam is something that they are expanding recently. I think last year they actually went into Vietnam, and they feel that Vietnam is actually a up potential place to expand into. So Indonesia, they have 6,500 sales professionals. So that's really huge number. Okay, huge number. So this is just the key highlights. I'm going to just touch on some of the key point over here. So ERA has been in the market for 38 years, okay, in Singapore. So you can see across the whole 10 countries, they have 17,000 agents. But in Singapore, they actually have 7,048. So slightly lower than Propnex with 8,000 plus. All right. In terms of the transaction value, okay, the market share in Singapore alone, they actually have about 32.8% market share in 2019. So of course, dividend yield and all that, okay, those are the past. So we are not going to go focus so much on that. Okay, you can see that from this particular slide, main bulk of the profits actually come from brokerage. Yeah, so 80.3% is under the brokerage and 19.7% comes from the training, property valuation, property management, franchise, rental. Why is there a rental 14.9%? It's because APAC, they actually own their own buildings, which is at Toa Payoh. So if you go to Toa Payoh, you'll be able to see the APAC building. So they actually own it. All right. So of course, when they own it, they can actually rent it to some of the restaurant, F&B cafe. There's a cafe at level 1. So those are giving them income. So about 14.9% comes from the rental income. But pretty much the whole business, I would say that is still coming from the brokerage, okay, which comes from the agent selling the property, rental income, rental commission, okay, as well as resale from both the private sector as well as the HDB and the landed as well. Right, and let me introduce to you this guy. His name is called Mr. Jack Chua. Okay, so Jack Chua is the executive chairman and CEO of APAC Realty. Okay, APAC Realty. So if you guys actually know him personally, please get him to actually connect with me. Okay, I would love to do an interview with Mr. Jack Chua. Okay, so ERA agent out there, please help me to connect with Mr. Jack Chua. Okay. Okay, so that was APAC. So right now we're going to focus on Propnex. So Propnex, in terms of the business segment, okay, focus on real estate brokerage, training services, property management services, okay, and the real estate consultancy services. So in short, very similar to what APAC is doing. So in terms of the demographic, where are they located? How many places they are? They focus on 4 areas: Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam. And of course, Singapore is the main one. Singapore is the main bulk, okay, which they have 8,441 sales person. Yeah. So core business is always in Singapore. I would say that Singapore takes up more than 90% of the revenue. Okay, more than 90%. Yeah. So we're going to focus on Singapore for both APAC as well as for Propnex. We're just going to focus on the Singapore market. Okay, the outside market, actually, they are all very small revenue, which doesn't really impact much as of now. Okay, maybe in the future, yes, but for now, the main bulk of the business, everything still comes from Singapore. So you can see this is for Propnex, 98% of the revenue comes from brokerage. So although they have a different business segment, but pretty much everything comes from your rental and the selling of the property itself. So, and of course, this is the co-founder, executive chairman, and CEO of Propnex, Mr. Muhammad Ismail. All right. So once again, Propnex, please connect me with Mr. Ismail. Okay. I would love to do an interview, or maybe he interview me or I interview him. Either way, okay, both are fine. Okay, but anyway, I'll move on. So that was about the background. Again, like I said, I'm sure we are all pretty familiar with Propnex as well as APAC. I'm going to use ERA to make sure that we all understand. So basically, ERA is under this umbrella company called APAC. Okay, but usually when we go to the sales agent, they are actually ERA. So Singapore lockdown, what happened is that on April 7th, Singapore announced that it will be shutting down until May 4th as it battled its second wave of coronavirus. So on the April 2nd, we are all now locked down in Singapore. So what happened, okay, when we are all locked down, okay, we can't, as a sales professional, they can't actually go out and, they can actually, everything is done through online, but definitely the business will be affected. And of course, we know that the circuit breaker has been extended, okay, until June 1st. So this is exactly what happened. So here's the impact on COVID-19. Let me just share with you guys. So we can see, first of all, the condo rental volume dropped 36.5%, okay, on a month-to-month basis. So we compare March to April, okay, because of the COVID lockdown, rental volume actually dropped 36.5% for non-landed private residential, which is your condominium. And then we look at the HDB rental market. So HDB rental volume dropped 36.7%. Okay, so there are still certain transactions being done in April, but it has dropped pretty significantly, right? So now we look at the condo resale volume. Okay, so people who are buying and selling condominium. All right, so condo resale volume has dropped 57.3%. So that is pretty huge drop, more than 50% drop for condo resale volume. And of course, if you look at the HDB resale volume, it has dropped 78.3%. Okay, 78.3%. So this is a very major drop. So we can see that the impact on of the lockdown, okay, is actually huge for both of these companies. So that is only in April. Okay, the result for May is actually not out yet, but pretty much we can actually see that April and May both are our full lockdown period. So pretty much the result will be the same, or I would say maybe even worse in May period. So this is an overall, okay, summary for what I've just shared. Basically, we can see that HDB resale has dropped 78%, condo resale has dropped 57%, then the rental for HDB dropped 36%, and condominium and apartment rental has dropped 36.5%. So this was the impact of COVID-19 during the April period. So again, we expect low volume in April as well as in May due to the lockdown. So now the thing is, what happened after June? What happened after 1st June when the market reopened? Okay, this is what we are all familiar with. Okay, Singapore cuts 2020 economic forecast for the 3rd time on coronavirus concerns. So even for the government, they actually didn't expect the economy to be that bad. That's why we have, you know, the 1st budget, 2nd budget, and right now we have the 3rd budget. Okay, so Singapore economy is expected to shrink between 4 to 7% this year. Again, this is actually one of the biggest downturn, okay, ever since Singapore gained independence. So it's really quite bad. So this is what happened post-lockdown. Okay, I'm just going to talk about post-lockdown. I'm not going to talk about post-COVID because we do not know when the COVID will stop. I'm just talking about what happened after 1st of June. Okay, safe distance measure will definitely continue to remain in place. Okay, remain in place. Okay, as a result, okay, we will see that show flat crowds will still remain low post-lockdown. Definitely people will start to go. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the government will start to open up the show flats and things like that, but there will be certain requirement and things and maybe certain capacity. Okay, so I would actually kind of predict that the show flats will be definitely still remain low in terms of the numbers. Then of course the last one is the economic environment could affect buyer sentiments. So people who want to buy, you know, they'll be like, oh, the market seems to be pretty bad. Maybe I will just keep on hold and things like that. So unless you are really an urgent buyer, okay, if not, I would say that people are actually kind of monitoring how the market will actually move, especially during this particular period. Okay, so now let's talk about the growth. Okay, so just now everything was pretty much based on the background of the company as well as the industry as is on its own. Okay, so let's talk about the growth. So there is this thing called consolidation of property agencies. Okay, so what happened is that the property agencies market is pretty challenging. Okay, pretty competitive. So a lot of property agencies, they actually combine forces, they join forces in order for them to survive. So you can see that over here, they say that the slowing property market has claimed 11 casualties over the last 2 years. All right, so I'm sure that one of the more popular names that we have heard of is Orange Tea. So Orange Tea has actually merged with Edmund Tai. Edmund Tai. I hope I get the name correct. So right now, Orange Tea is called Orange Tea and Thai. Okay, very interesting name. Yeah, and of course, there's many others lah. So there's a lot of combination, a lot of joining forces. A smaller company joining the bigger company. So this is happening. So of course, you can also see that, right? There's also a lot of small companies that when they join, they like to join the big company. They like to join the big company. Like for example, Propnex, okay, very recently just bought over, if not, I'm not wrong, which group? Yeah, maybe Lily, can you share with me what is the group that Propnex recently just bought over? I suddenly just forget. Yes, DWG, okay, DWG. I think it's not just DWG. DWG was years ago, was about 2 years ago. Okay, but recently they also, there's a team of like a 300-400, okay, there's a team of 300-400 agent also went over to Propnex. Okay, never mind. DWG, yeah, okay. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, there's still a lot of consolidation happening, but you can see that most of them actually goes to the first two company, which is the largest, which is Propnex as well as ERA Realty Network. All right. So Orange Tea and Thai came in on the third place. So today we're not going to talk about Orange Tea. So sorry about them. So we're going to talk about increasing number of property agent. Like I said, right now, we're talking about the growth, what are the potential of this particular market. So the number of agent is increasing. Okay, number of agent is increasing from 2018 to 2020. Okay, so you can see that more and more people are actually becoming an agent. So of course, right now with the market situation like this, more people are losing their job. Okay, naturally, okay, other than people will go and become Grab driver. Now Grab driver also jobless because no passenger to send. Okay, many people become Grab delivery and things like that. But I would say that definitely there will be a huge chunk of people who actually go and get a certificate and actually become a sales professional for property. All right. So I expect this number to actually increase maybe more than 1,000. Okay, for 2020 all the way to 2021. That is my personal expectation, my assumption. Okay, so right now I'm going to talk about the peer comparison, okay, between these two companies. So first of all, let's look at the market share between Propnex versus ERA. So among the new launch, okay, all this data are actually extracted from the annual report, okay, from both Propnex as well as ERA. Propnex, in terms of new launch, they actually owns about 48% of the market, okay, as compared to ERA, which is 38%. HDB resale, Propnex is at 51% and ERA is at 40%. Private residential resale, which is your condominium, okay, again, Propnex is 45% and ERA is 40%. And of course, the last one is agency growth. Okay, Propnex is 12.4% in terms of the number of agents. Okay, so from 2019 January to 2020 January, Propnex in terms of the number of sales professional has went up 12.4%. All right, then that's why they are now the largest in Singapore. ERA has went up by 7.3%. Okay, still amazing growth. Okay, it's definitely still an amazing growth of 7.3%. Okay, but pretty much based on this particular comparison, we can see that right now, in terms of market share, Propnex is getting a larger market share. And in terms of the growth, they are actually expanding pretty aggressively. All right, they are expanding pretty aggressively. So now let's talk about the risk of these two companies, okay? So one of the major risks that I actually see is actually agent jumping ship. So this basically you can see from this particular picture, wherever the money is, the agent can actually jump. So if let's say today you are an agent representing Propnex, okay, there is nothing that actually stop you from jumping over to APAC. If let's say APAC, you feel that maybe you love the culture of APAC, or maybe the person you like is in APAC, you decided to join. So you can actually just change over. I would say that the impact is not that huge. Okay, the impact is not that huge for property. Okay, I'm sure you all are familiar with insurance. In the insurance world, there's also this issue of jumping ship, agency jumping from AIA to Prudential, Prudential to Aviva, Aviva to Great Eastern and things like that. But for insurance agent, what happened is that they have this thing called recurring income. Okay, which means that if let's say you decided to jump to another company, you will actually lose this recurring income. But as a property agent, I would say that it is less affected, especially if let's say your customer is sticking to you, whether or not you are with Propnex or whether you are with ERA, okay, your customer can actually still stick with you. All the database is actually still with you. So to give you an example, okay, this is PLB team, okay. Are you familiar with them? If you are familiar, can you type in their full name of PLB? What is the full name of PLB? Anyone is familiar with PLB? Yes, the Property Lim Brothers, okay, Property Lim Brothers. I love to watch their video. I love to see how they sell property. Okay, very interesting. Also, if any one of you know them personally, please connect them with me. Okay, we can do something, do interview together. Yeah, today I'm here to just get a lot of interview. Okay, but anyway, so you can see that, for example, for people who have been following the Property Lim Brothers, you can see that the customer, in fact, a lot of people don't even know which company they represent, okay? Okay, so maybe I just check with you guys. Do you know which company Property Lim Brothers represent? Okay, maybe you can just randomly just put down your answer. What do you think? Which company do you think they represent? Okay, Propnex. So, okay lah, actually you all know. Okay, yeah, but anyway, if you go to their website of Property Lim Brothers, I managed to find at a very, very small print, okay? It mentioned Property Lim Brothers team is an independent team under the umbrella of Propnex Realty Private Limited. Okay, but pretty much the branding, everything is just built on this Property Lim Brothers. So if let's say today Property Lim Brothers decided, hey, maybe let's just change a style. Let's go to ERA. Okay, let's go to ERA. Do you think the customer will follow them? The answer is yes. The customer actually don't even care whether you are from Propnex or you are from ERA. Basically, I watch your YouTube. I love the property that you're selling or renting out, and yeah, we'll just go ahead. So you can see that as a sales professional, they're actually building up their own branding. So there is actually this risk of jumping ship. Okay, jumping ship. So why I wanted to touch on this is because I want to introduce you guys to this guy called Kelvin Fong, okay, the executive director for Propnex. So you can see over here that Kelvin Fong, he actually he leads the largest group in Propnex, okay, and within his group, based on this article, it mentioned it's about 2,600 agents, okay, but I'm pretty sure that this is an outdated figure. Right now, it should be easily 3,000 over agent, which means that out of 8,000 agent in Propnex, okay, almost 30 to 40% of the agent are under his care, under his group. So can you imagine if let's say today Kelvin Fong decided to, hey, maybe I want to change the feng shui. I decided to go to APEC Reality. So suddenly you can see that, okay, Propnex from 8,000 can drop to how many? Can drop to 5,000, and suddenly APEC become the ERA become the largest property group in Singapore. So that I don't. So the thing is, I haven't really go in depth to know whether the company do they have anything to lock down, all this group, which is really, really big. But that is actually one of the biggest risks, okay, that I actually feel that is happening in both companies. So this is in Propnex, okay, Kelvin Fong. And of course, you can see in ERA as well, there's this guy, his name is called Kevin Lim. So Kevin Lim, his group is called Preeminent. Okay, again, on this article, it mentioned 1,100 agent, okay, but from my source, I know that this number is definitely not correct. It's easily 2,000 to 3,000, okay. Anyone in Preeminent? Sharing, you're in Preeminent, right? Can you share how many agents are there in Preeminent? Okay, later when you see, do let me know so that I can update the rest of the people. Okay, but same thing, okay, Kevin Lim, if let's say Kevin Lim decided, hey, I don't want to be with ERA anymore, I want to join the blue color side. So they can actually jump over. Okay, so the latest update is 2K plus. So Kevin Lim, his group Preeminent, they have 2,000 over agents. So that is basically one of the risks that they can actually just jump over if they want to. But again, I'm sure that they will have their reason not to also. Okay, but there is always this risk. So of course, another risk that we'll be talking about is technology replacement of agent. Okay, technology to replace agent. So of course, these are some of the articles that has been being published. Okay, so you can see some of the startup, including Oh My Home, Hub Property, and Everspace. What they actually do is they actually potentially cut out the middleman entirely. So today, if you want to rent your property, you want to buy property and things like that, you can actually use their platform and you can actually save on so-called commission. Okay, you can actually save on commission. Again, I don't think this is very popular as of now. Okay, the number of people actually using this kind of technology and website is pretty low. But having said that, I would say that people are starting to adapt. Okay, people are adapting to technology. So you never know 5 years, 10 years down the road how technology will actually come in. So there's a potential that technology can come in and kind of just remove the need for agents. Okay, remove the need for agents. So, okay, now coming to the next part, which is an opportunity. What are some of the opportunity that we get when we invest in these two companies? Okay, so very good thing is that both Propnex and ERA are expanding their branding and franchises to overseas market. So in terms of Singapore, these two are the largest. They have pretty much dominate the whole Singapore market. But you can see that ERA has already been established in quite a number of overseas countries like Indonesia, okay, Vietnam, okay, and even for Japan, they are pretty huge. For Propnex, although they are only in a few countries, but they are actually spending quite a lot of effort expanding overseas as well with their franchises, right? So that is, of course, more opportunity to grow. So the next thing is property prices continue to rise over time. So how all these companies make money is basically they get a percentage of the commission of the price of the property. So if your property prices goes up, okay, naturally the commission and everything will go up as well, okay? So if let's say today the property is 1 million and the company can make about, let's say, 0.5%. So out of 1 million, 0.5% is 50K. Correct or not? Okay, am I correct? Oh, no, sorry, $5,000. Okay, yeah. So if let's say the property actually increase in prices in the future to 1.5 million, so that the same 0.5% is going to be bigger in amount, in absolute amount. Okay, so as property prices over time, all these companies, in terms of a commission, will also increase. And of course, the last one is, okay, Singapore population continues to increase, and this also result in higher total number of properties. We can see that Singapore is getting more and more squeezy. And Singapore is building more and more houses. Okay, building more and more houses. So as a result of that, we have smaller houses, okay, and more units. So all this will also lead to more commission, okay, because there will be more transaction. Okay, so something interesting. Okay, something interesting. Yeah. So this is from Kelvin Sito. Okay, I just wanted to add on something that he shared. So maybe I just wanted to share my view also. He mentioned that Propnex gross profit margin is around 10%. ERA is around 12 to 13%. Okay, so which means that ERA actually has a better margin. So he got a feeling that Propnex gives more commission cut to their agent. Propnex is quite strong in their training. So over time, they are attracting more people. Naturally, more developers would work with them too. So just his view could be wrong. Yes, actually, very, very true. In fact, in terms of the training, definitely I have to agree because I have spoke to quite a number of agents, okay, and pretty much almost everyone agree that Propnex has an amazing training system. And one of the key reasons why, if given a choice for them, if they are totally new to select these two companies, many of them actually will be choosing Propnex because of the training system that the company provides. So I think that is also why actually over the last 1 and 2 years, you can see that there has been a huge increase in the number of Propnex agents. Okay, there's a huge growth and increase mainly due to the training that they actually provide. And the head of this training is done by Mr. Kelvin Fong, okay, which I have introduced just now. Okay, Mr. Kelvin Fong. So he's like also the key person. If he decided to take this training to another company, then okay, I don't know what will happen. But so far, let's not think about that far. Let's not think that far. Okay, let's look at the financial fitness for both of these companies. Okay, so I will actually do the 7 financial checks over here. So the first one is to make sure that the company has a growing revenue, okay, which means that more sales is coming in. Then the next thing is we look at the earnings per share. So we look at the net profit must be higher. So next is of course the free cash flow. So these two companies, the good thing is they are not very capital intensive. So they don't need to buy a lot of aeroplanes, property, and things like that. So pretty much their business model is quite asset light. So that is why free cash flow, I would say, is would be pretty healthy for these two companies. Return on equity more than 15%, okay, to see how good the management is in terms of managing. Then net margin, more than 10%, interest coverage more than 5, and of course the last one, to see whether is it valuable or good to enter, I like to use dividend, okay, dividend to be more than 5%. So these are the 7 financial checks. Again, this will be the whole process, okay, but I'm not going to go in depth. You all can check out my other videos, okay, on Zoom. I actually shared in detail what all this represents. So go and check out that video. And yeah, so basically this is going to be the summaries for Propnex versus ERA. So we start with the first one, growing revenue. So the good thing is both of this company, in terms of the revenue, I would say that it has increased, like it is increasing. Okay, later I'm going to go a little bit in depth into the pattern of the revenue increase. But for now, okay, let's be a bit conservative, give them a bit of chance. So growing revenue, both fast. Positive earnings per share, okay, both also are good. These two companies are making money. So we look at the cash flow, like I said, both have no issue with the cash flow. Okay, return on equity. Okay, surprisingly, Propnex is good, and ERA actually failed in terms of the return on equity. Okay, next, net margin for Propnex is a fail, and of course for ERA is a fail. Reason being is actually because a huge chunk of their revenue actually goes to the agent as commission. Okay, so all the money will go to the company first, then the company will distribute a huge chunk of it to the agent as commission, and that figure can be 80 to 90%. Yeah, so as a result of that, from a business point of view, the business margin is actually quite low in a sense, but that's how the business works. Interest coverage in terms of the debt, okay, I would say that both are very good, okay. Propnex has got no debt. ERA has an interest coverage of 10.66, okay, which is also amazing. Okay, the last one would be something that is more interesting. Based on 2019 dividend, okay, Propnex has, based on the current share price, they have a dividend yield of 6.8%. Okay, and for ERA, based on the current share price and based on 2019 dividend, they have a dividend yield of 5.88. So again, based on my criteria, 5%, both actually is a pass. But the thing is, like what I've mentioned just now, because of the COVID-19, pretty much I would say that both companies will be affected, okay, in terms of the sales, in terms of the revenue. So which means that everything will drop. Okay, everything will drop. So now the thing is, how much will it drop? That will be the question that people will be asking. So of course, people are expecting like 20%, 30%. So that would definitely affect the dividend, because the company, the dividend policy is that they will actually distribute 50% of their profit as dividend. That is what both companies during their IPO they have mentioned, and they have actually stick to the 50%. So if the profit drop, then they are still giving out 50%. So naturally, the dividend that they're going to pay out for 2020 is going to be lower. Okay, it's going to be lower. So of course, I am not going to do a forecast for that. Okay, but I'm going to share with you something more interesting over here. So in terms of the revenue for both of these companies, we can see that on the left-hand side is Propnex. Over the last 5 years, it has been increasing pretty steadily, except for 2019, it has a slight drop. Okay, it has a slight drop. If you look at APAC, which is ERA, same thing happening. Okay, from 2015 all the way to 2018, it has been growing steadily. And for full year 2019, again, it has a drop. But what is interesting, okay, is over here. If we look at the net profit for both companies, okay, you can see that for Propnex, right, although the revenue dropped, but in terms of the net profit of the business, it dropped slightly only. Okay, it has only fallen slightly by 0.8, which is 800,000. So the full year net profit after tax of 2018 and 2019 is 800,000 lesser. But if you look at APAC, okay, APAC, the net profit after tax, you can see that from 24.2 million in 2018, it actually dropped to 13.9 million in 2019. And that is a massive drop. Okay, that is a massive drop. So that's the thing. So in terms of these two, again, I would say that I prefer Propnex in terms of the figure that I'm looking at. Okay, so something that is also very interesting over here is, okay, because right now we are already in May, so we have the first quarter result of Propnex. Okay, first quarter 2020 figures. You can see that first quarter Propnex did very, very well. Okay, first quarter 2020 compared to first quarter 2019, the percentage change in revenue is 82% increase. If you look at the net profit after tax, okay, the profit actually went up by 252% quarter to quarter. So we compared this quarter, okay, the first 3 months of this year compared to the first 3 months of 2019, Propnex has done amazingly well in the first quarter of 2020. As a result of that, you can see that the earnings per share is 2.05. So I just want to point to you, let's compare the net profit after tax. Can you see that just the first quarter alone, Propnex has already made $8 million. Okay, $8 million. But last year, the full year, Propnex made 21.1 million. So, of course, we know that for the next quarter, the second quarter, Propnex definitely will be affected because everything is down. Everything is down. But I have a feeling that even with COVID, okay, even with COVID, they might be able to match last year's earnings. Okay, they might be able to match last year's earnings. Or in fact, if miracle happen, okay, I wouldn't say miracle happen. If let's say there's a surprising result, right, there's a possibility that Propnex might do better than 2008 and 19 with the COVID-19 happening in 2020. Okay, so we shall see how it goes because the second quarter is going to be the more critical. Okay, that is something that we will be interested to look out for. Okay, but I would say that Propnex has done amazingly well for first quarter, so good job to all the Propnex agent out there. So now people will be asking, what about ERA? What is their first quarter 2020 figures? Okay, unfortunately, ERA has decided not to publish their first quarter result because of the COVID-19. So right now, the company actually have a choice whether they want to publish or they do not want to publish. So ERA has chosen not to publish. So as a result, I don't have the data for ERA. Okay, so you all can go and make your own guess whether is it going to be good or whether is it going to be not so good. Okay, so I think right now we are coming towards the end already. Okay, coming towards the end. So I'm going to just share my overall summary. So this is actually the good point that I just wanted to point out. I will just put the two companies together. I will give an overall view. So I would say that being the two largest property agencies in Singapore, both Propnex and ERA is capturing the main bulk of property transaction in Singapore. So that is really something that is good. They are the market leader in Singapore in terms of property brokerage. And of course, they have both well-structured training and the adoption of technology by both companies, and that would increase the service quality in the real estate broking industry. So moving forward, of course, there will be technology disruption and things like that. Okay, but like I said, because they are the two largest, and these two companies, they have been spending more money on training as well as the adoption of technology. So I just find that moving forward, they will actually have a better comparative advantage as compared to the smaller agencies out there. So again, being in the bigger one, they have the resources, okay, to actually come up with better technology and of course better service quality and training. And of course, for the last one is these two companies, they are well positioned to expand overseas with Singapore as their base. As we can see that they are actually moving towards the overseas market. So that would again be a good point, okay, for me to look at investing in these two companies for the future potential. So now coming to the bad point of these two companies. So first of all, I don't really like the dividends. Okay, the dividends are fluctuative as the business are closely related to market sentiments. So like what happened right now is that when the market is going down, you can see that the dividends is going to drop as well. So if you're investing in this company for dividend, okay, then you'll be like, oh, this year you get more money, next year you get less money. So it's fluctuative. So that's something that I don't really like. And of course, the second one is the key person risk poses a constant threat to both companies. Okay, I will say that it the key person thread happens for both companies. So for Propnex, you have Kelvin Fong, and for ERA, you have Kelvin Lim. Okay, Kelvin Lim from Preeminent Group. So both of them are, they have a huge team under them. So that is always one of the key person risk. And of course, for the last one is the advancement and the adoption of technology, as it could potentially replace or disrupt the broking industry. So we all know right now with the advancement on technology, many things happen just suddenly. For example, Grab and Uber just came in and disrupt the whole taxi industry. So same thing in this particular industry, we are not sure how it will actually move forward. Okay, maybe there will be a technology whereby everybody just do all the transaction online. If you want any professional advice, you just go to, and somebody will just probably Zoom with you and share his advice, or even the computer will be the one giving you advice whether to buy the property or not to buy the property, and also how to actually fill out the form and things like that. So we are really not sure how technology will progress in this particular area, but definitely that's something that I will be a bit skeptical of. And so finally, okay, coming to the final decision, okay, final decision whether or not to buy for these two companies. Okay, what do you think? What do you think? I want to hear from you guys first. So maybe you can put in your view based on what I've just shared so far. Is it going to be a buy, B-U-Y, or is it going to be a buy, B-Y-E? Can you put it in the chat group for those who are on Facebook? Okay, do comment as well. Okay, based on what I've shared so far, based on your personal understanding, will you actually invest in this company, or which company will you invest? If let's say it's a buy, it's a BUY, which one will you actually invest? So let me see what are some of the answer. Okay, so Lily say I will stick to US company. I'll stick to US stock. And Johnny mentioned Propnex. Okay, and for Lily, if it's a buy, I will buy Propnex. Okay, what about the rest? What about the rest? Any more answer? Any more answer? Okay, Mulika from Facebook say BYE. Okay, so no go for both company. Johnny, Propnex has got more room for growth. Okay, so if you want to buy, it is Propnex. Jimmy also mentioned Propnex. Joseph mentioned Propnex. Jasmine say BYE. Okay, Jasmine say no. Zihao also mentioned Propnex, but you will not go in now. Maybe in Q3. Okay, interesting. Okay, so now coming to my answer. Okay, can I have some drum roll? Drum roll, please. Can you just type in drum roll? Okay, drum roll. Okay, so who is going to be the winner? Okay, is it going to be a buy BUY or is it going to be a buy BYE? The final answer is going to be, oh yes, BYE, buy. Okay, so allow me to also share a little bit on my personal view on why I actually share BYE. Although, you know, in terms of the financial fitness, both companies seems to be doing pretty well in terms of the financial fitness. But my personal take is that because I do expect that the second quarter is going to be quite a major result for both companies. So I would actually like to monitor how the second quarter they will actually perform. So again, if Propnex is able to prove that even during the COVID lockdown, they are able to close sales, they are able to close rental, they are still able to perform, I wouldn't say very well, but they are still able to close case and deliver certain revenue. Okay, then that would actually give me a lot more confidence to actually invest in Propnex. So again, if given a choice between these two companies, I would say that my first choice is definitely going for Propnex. All right, based on the company potential, based on the company financial right now, and also just based on the performance that they have been giving, especially for the last 1 year, amazing growth. So that is my take for Propnex. Okay, having said that, okay, I think APAC definitely is still a company that we can look at. So I just want to make sure that APAC it can come back strong. Okay, in terms of the agency growth, in terms of maybe in terms of the training. Okay, maybe there'll be something, there will be a new training for APAC as well, right? So we will monitor this, but at least for now, I'm going to monitor Propnex for the second quarter before I can make any decision. So for now, nothing for both. Okay, And so that's it for my buy or buy series today on Propnex versus APAC. Okay, I hope you guys actually learned something from it. Okay, so yeah, I have something very important. Okay, so before you all go, okay, this is very important. This is the most important slide. Okay, so more resources. If you want to get more resources, if you want free Singapore shopping list, please join our Telegram. It's totally free. Okay, and not only that, if you want to see the review of this video and all my past video on buy or buy series, okay, you can actually subscribe to our YouTube, and please do like our Facebook page at Ultimate Investing. All right, so with that, I thank everyone for coming in tonight. Okay, I hope you guys are learning something and you guys enjoy yourself. Okay, so very importantly, okay, please do not miss our next session of buy or buy series happening this coming Sunday. Okay, this coming, let me just double confirm. Okay, our next buy or buy series, yes, happening this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. Okay, the company is going to be a secret company. I'm not going to release this company because this is a company that definitely is going to be a buy. Okay, this company is definitely going to be a BUY. Okay, but I'm not going to release the company. So if you want to find out which company it is, join us this coming Sunday, 2 p.m. and I'll see you guys there. So for now, I'm going to sign off. Okay, everybody invest safe, stay safe, and see you next time. Bye-bye.